again, for your talk, I really did appreciate it. I wanted to ask a little bit more about the domains of human life that ought to be wild and free and absent of human control, and those that should. Because I largely agree that something like love and pursuing a partner or friendships is something that should have a degree of uncertainty so that this freedom can flourish. But at the same time, when I'm driving on the road, I don't want there to be very much uncertainty for my safety. I want to know with a good degree of certainty that I will get there safely. And I'm happy to invite a large degree of control in my life in order to make that the case. So I'm wondering where, if at all, you draw a line of what domains of the human experience should be subject to control and those which should not.
Yeah, I don't think it would offer some principled, line or attempted a general account like that. But case by case, one thing with the dating app example that you mentioned, there's something called the paradox of choice. In other words, having all these, I guess you got like windows and windows of possible mates. So it turns out that when you multiply choice like that, people end up not being happy with any of their choices because they're thinking of all the other ones that they maybe should have chosen instead. So there is not the complaint isn't some abstract one about control, it's about how it changes the disposition of us toward whatever activity it may be. Now, in the specific case of driverless cars, I went deep into this in my book, Why We Drive, and came to the conclusion that it's an expensive solution to a non-problem. In other words, human beings are actually really good at driving. And on top of that, that's sort of an empirical argument to make that this is not, that we don't have time to do that, but so that's why I sort of picked out the driverless car thing as expressing a kind of perverse anti-humanism, because it's really not giving due credit to our capacities for being really prediction engines, kind of like you suggested. We're exquisitely well attuned to be able to predict one another's behavior, the kind of evolutionary fact about us.